In the world of video games, there have been several iconic mascots over the years. Earliest among them, before Mario, Sonic, or Crash Bandicoot came along, was none other than Pac-Man. The world's favorite dot muncher was a staple of the arcades during the 80s and led a cultural phenomenon that spanned over a cartoon, music, and especially several spin-offs and follow-ups. However, unlike Mario, Sonic, or Crash, Pac-Man never had a direct sequel. Well, that is until 1994, when Namco dropped Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures onto the Super NES and Sega Genesis. Though technically Pac-Man 2 was called Hello Pac-Man in Japan, which means this too was a spin-off game. Oops! Over the years, this game has received a mixed to positive reception, though it's continually baffled many gamers. Most find the game's point-and-click style, where you're not directly controlling Pac-Man, weird and utterly ridiculous. And then there's me, who finds it absolutely charming. I'm JackAttackDX, and today I'm going to talk about this wildly irreverent adventure and why I actually kind of like it. Let's get started. As I said prior, the game is more a point-and-click adventure game. On the box, Pac-Man 2 is touted as an interactive cartoon, which, to be fair, isn't far off. The game has a truly cartoony charm and nature to it. The game stars Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Pac Jr., Pac-Baby, the Ghosts, and the mystery villain. Okay, it's the Ghost Witch. When you start the game, Pac-Man introduces you to the core idea of the game before the tutorial begins and encourages you to give things a try. Your pointing is in the form of an aiming reticle, with the clicks being represented by a slingshot. This can be used to hit things in the environment or even Pac-Man himself, and can also be used to launch power pellets into the environment, which are used to power into Super Pac-Man, which lets Pac-Y chomp on any ghosts. You can also tell Pac-Man where to go. So once the tutorial begins, Pac-Man encourages you to fire the slingshot while pointing up, so naturally I aim for the chimney and he gets pissed. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, I'm just doing what you told me, why you mad? A little later, I fire at a glass window which opens up to Pac Jr. throwing a toy plane out the window, which Pac-Man is immediately distracted by. He gets distracted by a lot of things, keep this in mind in case he gets mad or upset. Sometime later, the game begins and your first mission is to go get milk for Pac-Baby. So Pac-Man heads off to the farm next door, where we immediately cause shenanigans by dropping a hay bale on the sleeping farmer. No big deal. We walk over to the cow, hit a crow which helps knock down a milk bottle, which Pac-Man fills with milk from the cow, and mission complete. Also, Pac-Man really loves cows, check it out. It's kinda wholesome. When I'm feeling down and out, I can take comfort in knowing that somewhere out there, there's a cow being admired by our boy. Anyway, Pac-Man delivers the milk, and look at that baby eat. So next we get a cutscene of the ghost being yelled at by the Ghost Witch, because how dare. Also, this cutscene plays after every mission and sees the Ghost Witch absolutely terrifying the ghosts. Why did they work for her again? So the next mission has Pac-Man going to the mountains to get some flowers for the neighborhood girl, which has Pac-Man looking sad before realizing this means he's on another adventure. So up to the mountains we go, where Pac-Man is nearly crushed by a falling boulder. He then climbs up a rope to God knows where, but it leads him to a hang gliding section, like on the game's cover. This part's actually really fun and incredibly easy once you get the hang of it. You can have Pac-Man go higher or lower him by hitting him. You'll also need to swat at any ghosts, or they could drop rocks on Pac-Man or mess with his flight, and we don't want that, no thank you. So we make it to the end and are brought to a nice spot on top of the mountain, where sadness from Miss Balloon turns into happiness of finding flowers. We bring them back, and they've already got flowers and are celebrating the neighbor girl's birthday. Fucking traitors, man. So the next mission sees Pac Jr. get his guitar stolen by the ghosts, which means it's time for another adventure! This time to the big city. This area is where the game starts throwing more things for Pac-Man to do. Getting paint on him, getting splashed by cars passing by, playing piano, becoming a total menace to some balloon guy. The city has it all. But things really get going once said balloon vendor gets revenge on Pac-Man by filling him with air and sending him flying to the rooftops. Once Pac-Man gets to the other side of the rooftops and drops down, he gets some soda from the vending machine and heads over to the right, where some weird guy is looking all sus. See? Even Pac-Y knows it. Wait, what's with this guy's laugh? He laughs like a dude I worked with. He seems as trustworthy as somebody that says KFC is better than Popeyes. Pac-Man's had enough and is ready to throw hands when something explodes inside the guy. Don't take that out of context. Oh look, ghosts! Super Pac-Man comes through and the guitar is saved. Pac Jr. is elated, and the ghosts are again terrified. So the final mission sees the city being invaded by ghosts that are stealing ABC gum from the kids. That's already been chewed gum. Ew. Taking the gum for the ghost switch to build a gum monster. Okay, Packy's pissed but is ready to head off. But before we do, something to point out. In addition to the missions, there are things to find across the overworld. There's an old arcade where you can play the original Pac-Man, but if you find all the Pac-Man cartridges, you can also play Miss Pac-Man. In addition, there are 3 ID cards we must find in order to even do the final battle. The first one is in front of the town arcade. The second one is in the mountain mine, and the third one is on a city rooftop. So we head back to the mountain, go through a minecart area, which is usually a pain in the ass, but I did it first try. Woo! After that, a crate with ghosts leads to me getting the second ID card. So we head off and get to the city, where after a particularly hilarious launch from a painting platform, we make it to a window lift where Pac-Man makes it to another rooftop and confronts the ghosts again for the third ID card. With all 3 ID cards, it's time to get to the lab. Though this gated area where we found the guitar is where the lab is at, we can't enter there. Instead, we have to get Pac-Man pissed enough to want to fix the specific fire hydrant, cause a manhole cover to burst, and head through the sewers where Pac-Man almost instantly gets beat up by thugs because he got too curious. Another try later, we get to the end of the sewers and make it into the lab. It takes some clever maneuvers, but finally we get through and make it to the keycard room. There's a sequence you have to insert the cards in, but you need at least 1 power pellet in order to get in, and guess who ran out beforehand because he put the sequence in wrong? Ugh! Let's try this again. So now we're back, and with the sequence 415, we finally get to fight the gum monster. Okay, I know AVGN did that joke before me, but damn it, that's what it looks like. So moving on. This boss fight is actually easy. Pac-Man will stay as Super Pac-Man the entire time. Just keep hitting the gum monster in the face and occasionally try to hit its hands, and after a minute, Pac-Man wins. The Ghost Witch admits defeat, but leaves to plot her revenge, and meanwhile, Pac-Man is hailed as a hero by all. Except for that balloon guy. And that's Pac-Man 2. I know it's a massive deviation from the gameplay we know when we think of Pac-Man, but I don't know. I love the game's quirky charm. Pac-Man's personality and expressions kill me whenever I pull this game up. If you're interested, the game goes relatively cheap at used game stores, and it isn't a bad way to put away 2 hours on a weekend afternoon. If for anything else, do it for Pac-Man and his love for cows. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Feel free to hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I put a new video out. Also, check out my links in the description. I'll see you around. Peace out for now.